The weak poodle of the werewolf pack managed to summon the powers of the moon and gained a new, powerful form of a great wolf, but ended up discovering that his powers are accompanied by a curse. Today we're going to recap the story of the movie, 200% Wolf, from 2024. In the middle of a crater on the moon, spirits in the shape of wolves gather, creating an energy similar to an aurora borealis. This energy is released on Earth and picked up by the princess of a palace who, upon receiving it, transforms into a wolf woman. Back on the moon, the entities continue to transmit this energy, until one of their babies, Moapoo, arrives in a space car and makes a mess. When she sees this, his mother tells him to behave, because she has to finish the ritual. Moapoo promises to be quiet, and so his mother and the other spirits continue to send their energy to the planet. However, a mysterious red light, created by a wolf witch called Max, begins to absorb the entity's power. Because of this, Moapoo is pulled out of the moon, and his mother, along with the other spirits, come together to save him. All these events happened in the distant past, and now the Earth lives in peace, especially in a town protected by a pack of werewolves. Although they are human, the members of this group turn into werewolves at full moon and use their powers to protect people. The leader of the group, called Flashheart Lupin, has a son called Freddy, but instead of turning into a wolf, he takes the form of a poodle. Even so, he is destined to become the leader of the pack in the future and accompanies his father on every mission. During a night patrol, Freddy is with his father, his uncle Hotspur, and his best friend, Batty, and sees a Zeppelin being hit by fireworks. The huge airship begins to fall, and Flashheart decides to save the passengers, but leaves Freddy behind as this could be dangerous. However, the ship ends up changing course, and it's up to the little poodle and his friend to prevent a tragedy from happening. The pair climb to the top, and Freddy has the idea of using his claws to pierce the airship so that it can come down. But that wasn't such a good idea, as the ship starts to expel all the gas and flies at high speed around the city. As a result, Freddy is thrown out of the airship, but luckily he manages to cling to the handle again. The poodle tries his best to hold onto something to make the airship stop, but ends up crashing into people, road signs, and even a garden full of thorns. Finally, Freddy reaches a firm rock on the ground and uses his strength to stop the ship at a power station. Thanks to his efforts, together with Batty, the passengers manage to get out of the airship safely, and all ends well. Minutes later, Freddy returns to the werewolf's secret base, expecting to be treated like a hero for his great deed. But instead, the other members of the gang mock the poodle's face when they see from the TV footage how badly he botched his attempt to save the passengers. In addition, his father scolds him for exposing himself like that, because werewolves must keep their existence a secret. Freddy doesn't like this at all and feels that neither his father nor the other werewolves respect him, so he leaves the room in a rage. Batty tries to comfort him, saying that he will only earn the respect of the gang if he acts like himself. However, instead of listening to her, Freddy sees a drawing in the garden, showing the spirits of the moon transmitting their power through a rock, called the Summoning Stone. The poodle decides to go there and finds the rock in the middle of a valley surrounded by mountains. Freddy then asks the spirits to turn him into a wolf, because he believes that only then will everyone respect him. The spirits hear his request, but don't grant it, as the reason for Freddy turning into a poodle is something he'll have to find out for himself. Nevertheless, Moapoo takes pity on the boy and, invoking the spirit's magic, he casts it into the earth, hitting Freddy. Upon receiving this energy, the boy finally turns into a wolf and sets off to show everyone his new transformation. Batty, however, finds it all very sudden and believes that something bad might happen. Her suspicions are soon proven correct, because when Moapoo invoked the magic, he ended up being pulled by it and ended up on Earth too. Meanwhile, Freddy continues to brag about finally being a real wolf and starts howling and dancing in the forest. Suddenly, he is startled to see the spirit of the moon, Moapoo, who soon realizes that it was he who turned him into a wolf. Freddy thanks him for this and asks him to return to his world, then goes to the werewolf base to tell his father the good news. Shortly afterwards, the boy appears in front of his gang and shows off his new wolf form to everyone. However, the one who really steals the show is Moapoo, who had followed Freddy there in hiding. The members of the gang are impressed to see a moon spirit for the first time and ask what he is doing on Earth. Freddy then reveals that he went to the Summoning Stone and made a request to turn into a wolf, which Moapoo granted. When they hear this, everyone around them is startled and finds the boy's story very similar to Max's. Years ago, she was once a member of the gang, but just like Freddy, she couldn't come to terms with her short stature and summoned a powerful magical portal to absorb the power of the spirits. It was then that Moapoo was almost pulled out of the moon and his mother saved him at the last minute. In addition, she and the other spirits punished Max by taking away her wolf form, and then the witch isolated herself, waiting for the day when she would take her revenge on everyone. Max has never been seen again, but the members of the pack believe that if she finds out that a moon spirit is on Earth, she will try to take revenge again. To make matters worse, while Freddy was listening to all this, Moapoo ended up escaping from the secret base, and Flashheart, along with the other wolves, set off after him. After everyone leaves, Freddy also decides to look for him, but Batty soon finds him on the roof of the mansion. The pair try to catch him, but Moapoo is so mischievous and powerful that they soon realize they'll need help to take care of him. So Freddy and Batty go into town and ask for the help of their dog friends, Twitchy, Hamish and Bruno. After explaining the whole situation, Freddy tells them that they need to find the witch Max, because only she knows how to create a portal that will take Moapoo back to the moon. Hamish agrees to help them and takes everyone to his hideout, which is in the city sewers. There, he sees an old drawing on the wall, revealing that the witch has ended up in a hidden place called the Great Mist. The group then plans to go there, but just then, two of the pack's wolves appear on the scene to take Freddy back. Hamish quickly activates a secret exit and takes everyone back to the city, where the day has already dawned. Because of this, Freddy becomes human again, but he is completely without clothes. Fortunately, he finds some clothes in a garbage can and, with everything ready, the group hitches a ride on the bus to get to the Great Mist. Hours later, they arrive at the location, which is a huge, dark forest full of monsters. Along the way, they accidentally activate various traps, such as sharp darts, a huge tree trunk thrown in their direction and even an electric force field. Faced with danger, Hamish suggests giving up the mission, but Freddy fears that if Moapoo stays on Earth, he will lose his power and disappear forever. The little spirit is frightened when he hears this and suddenly emits a powerful wave of energy, which passes through the force field. The group then follows this passage, at the same time as Flashheart arrives at Hamish's hideout and looks for clues about his son. After some searching, he finds a drawing of the Great Mist on the wall and decides to go there with the rest of the gang. Back in the forest, the sky darkens and Freddy becomes a wolf again. However, Moapoo begins to get weaker and weaker and the light in his body fades more and more. He needs to feed on energy from the moon and the only reserve left is in Freddy's body. However, if he absorbs it, the boy will turn back into a poodle, and so Moapoo refuses to take the energy back. So Freddy and his friends decide to rest for the night. Moapoo soon falls asleep and his power causes his dreams to take shape around the forest. Freddy and his friends manage to see Moopoo's dreams, where he is playing on the moon, until he meets his mother. The little spirit runs to hug her and then his mother comforts him with a lullaby. This sight only makes the group more motivated to continue with the mission and send Moapoo back home. However, in the middle of the forest, Gargar appears, a huge flying bat-like creature. Freddy challenges the monster to a confrontation and tells everyone to get Moapoo safely away from there. However, when he tries to punch the bat in the eye, his blow has no effect and Gargar begins to hunt him through the forest. Freddy grabs Batty and tries to run away as fast as possible, but this only attracts the attention of more creatures, who surround them in the middle of a valley. The two friends have nowhere to run, until a mysterious voice makes the bat and the rest of the animals stop their attack. That voice belongs to Max, who appears in her human form and even more powerful than before. She soon suspects that Freddy and Batty are spies for the werewolf pack and fires a lightning spell in the boy's direction. However, upon receiving this attack, Freddy momentarily reverts to his poodle form, which leaves the sorceress confused. The boy tries to disguise it by saying that he was expelled from the pack for summoning the moon spirits and that he needs the portal spell to take revenge on them. This conversation seems to convince the witch, who, also wanting revenge on the pack and the spirits, agrees to help him. In another part of the forest, Hamish, Twitchy and Bruno look after Moapoo, while trying to find a way out of the forest. However, they are soon spotted by the animals, who warn the witch about their presence. On hearing this, Max decides to test whether Freddy can really be trusted and gives him a pot of magic so that he can eliminate the invaders from her forest. With no other choice, Freddy agrees to do it and leaps towards his friends, about to cast the witch's spells on them. However, he soon convinces them that it's all a hoax and asks them to pretend they're being attacked. The group agrees to the plan and Freddy starts casting spells around the forest, but without hitting them. The whole place becomes a mess, but the witch decides to see for herself if Freddy has really eliminated the invaders. The wolf then tells his friends to pretend they've been eliminated and luckily, the plan works and Max comes to trust Freddy. The two then make their way to the highest part of the forest, where the witch explains the reasons why she was expelled from the gang. She just wanted to impress her colleagues, but because she was different from the others, her colleagues didn't respect her. But as the years went by, she realized that being different was a good thing and started doing patrol missions her way. Max learned earth spells and with them, she saved many people, although some of them were turned into monsters. The gang didn't like this at all, so the witch created an even more powerful spell, a portal to connect with the spirits of the moon. She asked the members of the pack to respect her, but the spirits refused and even took away her wolf transformation. Freddy realizes that the witch's story is very similar to his own and begins to wonder if she really is a villain. Finally, after this conversation, Max takes Freddy back to her hideout and promises to train him to learn the portal spell. Freddy accepts, but he knows he has to hurry because Moapo'o only has a short time to live. He and Batty decide to rest for the night, without suspecting that his father has just arrived in the forest with the rest of the gang. Hours later, the day dawns and Moapo'o is hiding with Twitchy and his friends, but in his sleep, he starts to feel hungry and his body tries to absorb the energy of the place. Nearby were some of the forest animals, who had been transformed into monsters thanks to Max's magic. However, when the baby unwittingly absorbs this magic, he ends up taking on a red form and his personality becomes more evil. At the same moment, Freddy also wakes up and, because of the sunlight, transforms back into a human. He then improvises an outfit using an old cape and goes to Max to begin his training in magic. The two arrive at a secret location and the witch teaches them that the magic of the earth, unlike the power of the moon, does not come from the sky, but from the ground. She then teaches the boy how to grow a plant from the ground and, after a few attempts, Freddy manages to invoke magic for the first time. The training continues and, not far from there, Hamish and his friends try to control baby Moapo'o. He continues to emit the Earth's red energy, but this power is consumed more quickly than that of the moon. Because of this, the baby can't help himself and begins to absorb the magic present in all the creatures in the forest. As a result, Moapo'o becomes more and more powerful, as does Freddy, who turns out to be a prodigy and learns magic quickly. The boy becomes more confident with each new lesson and asks the witch to teach him the magic of the portal. However, she tells him that Freddy isn't ready for that yet. She tells the boy to rest for the rest of the day, but Freddy knows he has to save Moapo'o as soon as possible. So he follows her to the top of a mountain, where he sees the witch writing down her spells amidst the rocks. After she leaves, Freddy looks for the portal spell, as he intends to invoke it himself. In the meantime, Batty has befriended Gargar and asks him to take her to her friends in the forest. After finding them, Batty discovers what's happening to Moapo'o and soon after, she sees him absorbing energy, this time targeting Gargar. He manages to take some of the bat's magic, but Gargar is startled by this and runs away. After this, Moapo'o, once again dominated by the magic of the earth, hears Freddy's voice at the top of the mountain and goes after him. There, the wolf is practicing all the magic he has learned and as soon as he meets Moapo'o again, the two of them demonstrate their new powers to each other. Shortly afterwards, Batty and the rest of the group arrive on the mountain and she fears that Freddy is being controlled by earth magic. What's more, after using up all his stored energy, Moapo'o returns to his normal form, but he's even weaker than before and his body is disappearing. If that wasn't bad enough, the witch Max also shows up and discovers Freddy's whole plan. She accuses him of being a traitor and of having taken advantage of her friendship to learn the magic of the portal. Freddy says he did it to save Moapo'o, but that he has really become friends with Max and wants to use what he has learned to do good. Max doesn't accept his apology and says she doesn't need his friendship because all the animals she has transformed are already her friends. However, Max soon realizes that the forest creatures don't respect her, they're just afraid of her and her power. This discovery makes her realize her mistake and she agrees to help the group save Moapo'o, but she doesn't have enough power to create a new portal. Even so, Freddy offers to help her and Max teaches him how to invoke the lunar runes, which can open the portal. However, if he doesn't do the spell correctly, it will create a gravitational disorder, causing the moon and the earth to collide. Even knowing the risks, the two conjure the runes and create a huge portal that leads straight to the moon. The spell works, but Max reveals her true intentions and uses her magic to trap Freddy and his friends. She says she fooled them all, because her real intention was to open the portal again and finally absorb the power of the moon spirits. The witch then activates a powerful spell, which begins to alter the Earth's gravitational force and even causes her to regain her wolf form. However, not satisfied with this, Max begins to drain all the power from the moon spirits in order to become stronger. Seeing that the witch is going to destroy the world, Freddy breaks free and uses his magic to stop her. However, Max is more powerful and conjures up her power to throw lightning bolts and rocks at her apprentice. The fight intensifies and Batty, who is trapped with her friends in a force field, convinces everyone to get out of there and help Freddy. Hamish decides to break his sunglasses and uses a piece of the lens to get through the force field. They do their best to get out of there, but Max continues to cast her spells, until she uses her power to hit Freddy with huge rocks. knocking him unconscious. Seeing his friend injured, Moapoo tries to help him, but the witch hurls him away with her lightning. Seconds later, Batty and her friends use all their strength and manage to break free from the force field, but even united they are no match for the witch's power. Fortunately, Flashheart and the other werewolves appear on the battlefield to help Freddy and his friends. Finally, Batty summons her friend Gargar, who appears with other bats to stop Max. The fight against the witch continues and Moapoo, weakened as he is, walks towards the portal to try to absorb the moon's energy. Unfortunately, Max sees him approaching the light and fires a powerful bolt at him. Freddy then jumps into the attack to protect his friend, and a magic fight breaks out between him and his former master. Max warns Freddy that he's not strong enough to defeat her, but the wolf reveals that he has a card up his sleeve. He casts force field magic on Max, trapping her and causing her magic to turn against her, turning her into a mutant toad. The fight against Max came to an end, but the lightning that struck Moapoo turned him into a gigantic monster. He starts attacking everyone around him, but Freddy decides to intervene and jumps on his friend. The boy remembers Moopoo's dream and starts singing the same lullaby as his mother to calm him down. The plan works and Moapoo comes back to his senses, using all the corrupted energy inside him to undo the portal. Thanks to this, the Earth's gravitational force returns to normal, but Moapoo is about to disappear. To save him, Freddy decides to give him the moon energy that was inside him, giving up his wolf transformation forever. As a result, the little moon spirit regains its power, while Freddy returns to his human form. Moapoo is safe and begins to be pulled back to the moon, but first he says goodbye to his friends, especially Freddy, one last time. When he is taken back, Moapoo meets his mother again and the spirits of the moon gather once more. Finally, the little spirit asks his mother to send back Freddy's transformation. She accepts his request and, together with Moapoo and the moon spirits, they restore the magic to the boy, who turns back into a little poodle. Even though he's no longer a wolf, Freddy is happy to have saved Moapoo and to have finally understood why he turned into a poodle. More than that, he has earned the respect of the werewolves with his courage and is finally ready to become the pack's new leader. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.